We are so excited that this is the first renovated gas station in the country that's outfitted now with all electric vehicle charging stations. It's really groundbreaking, and I'm excited for what this means for the city of Takoma Park, for green jobs, the green economy of our local city, and sustainability overall in the city. It will really support the residents here who don't have driveways and can't charge cars at home but want to go electric. Mr. Doley wanted to get out of the gasoline business, and he was talking with the Director of Public Works, Daryl Braithwaite, and she suggested that once he had removed the tanks and the pumps, that perhaps he could switch to being an electric vehicle charging station.
I got the idea, I think it was last year, 2018, when I got a call from City of Takoma Park Public Works Manager, Ms. Daryl. She gave me a call and she asked me, she said, what are you going to do with your gas station? Because by then I had removed all the underground storage tanks and all the Maryland Department of Environment issues, everything was resolved. And then I got all the dispensers removed and all. So everything was empty. The auto repairs continues, but I haven't decided anything. Then she told me, she said, why don't you make it into an electric car charging station? And I heard about electric car chargers and all that, but I wasn't familiar and I didn't know how to do it. So I said, what is it? How do you go about it and all? And she explained it to me that EVI, Electric Vehicle Institute, has been installing chargers in Takoma Park, and she can connect me to them. That day I went home, sat down for dinner with my wife and daughter. And in there, we were eating dinner, we were talking, and then I said, oh, by the way, City of Takoma Park called me. They're like, for what? I said, oh, they wanted me to convert my gas station into an electric car charging station, And then my daughter got really happy. And then she gave me a lecture on climate, global warming, and what is going on and all that. She generally doesn't talk much, but she gave me a nice lecture and said, Daddy, you got to do it. It's really good for the environment and all. And so I said, okay, I'll call them tomorrow. And then the next day, I think it was the next day, we set up an appointment with Electric Vehicle Institute. I sat down with them. We had a good talk. The contract was very good. And I said, okay, let's proceed. And that's how we started.
We've been working on this, the charging station network for a number of years. And this is the first in the nation, a conversion from gasoline station to an all-electric vehicle refueling station. We expect the EV charging station network to continue to expand, and we have a very brisk adoption rate for electric vehicles. And the Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Council has just been converted to a zero emission vehicle council, and we continue to do a lot of the same stuff that we're doing and expand upon it. We're really seeing a very strong adoption rate on EVs. We have over 20,000 vehicles now, and we're seeing a very strong adoption rate between 40 and 50% a year of annual growth.
Maryland and the administration has taken a number of actions to support this industry. It's one that the administration feels very importantly about, and I think we've taken a number of steps to support this industry in Maryland. Run a number of incentive programs for electric vehicles and charging infrastructure, including programs that help fund this facility here today. And Maryland has received recognition as being a national leader. We have ambitious goals, some of which were outlined earlier, and we're not quite all the way there yet. We realize we're as our Chief of Staff Chris Rice said, it's a long journey. We're not quite there yet, but we're certainly happy with the progress that we have made.
The future is going to be, there's going to be a lot of technology that's going to be developed over the years, and battery technology is changing as well. So is the vehicle industry as well, computers and the cars getting longer range on battery, and electric cars are coming out. Almost all major manufacturers are making electric cars, and this is one big step.
From a technological perspective, it's a superior vehicle, and it's one that makes it inherently quieter, and it's one that doesn't really get brought up a lot, but that is yet another benefit of this technology.
Hybrid cars, we do everything. Toyota Prius and any other Honda hybrid batteries, the big batteries, we do everything. We replace it almost for half the price as what the dealers charge. Now, regarding electric cars, we've done a few services on a couple of Teslas, tire rotations and brakes on a Nissan Leaf, but go to the electronics, we haven't done anything. But now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to talk with AAA, where I'm a certified auto repair shop for AAA. See if they can offer me any classes for my technicians to go to New Jersey. There is a big factory, I believe, the battery manufacturer called Delphi. They're offering classes, so I'm requesting them that I will pay out of my pocket to send my guys to go learn about whatever is related to the electronics of the car. So let's see how it happens. The beauty about Takoma Park, anybody can come, from taxi drivers to private owners to corporate owners, anybody can come. And one thing beautiful about Takoma Park is my location. You see, yes, it does take sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes to charge. But the beauty is, if they're sitting here, I have a new lounge, they can have a seat, relax, go online and do whatever they want. But if they don't want to stay inside, right next door we have Mr. Roland Dawes barbershop. 20 minutes you can get a nice haircut. And if they're a little hungry, we have the taco truck right here, right next door, or we have Spring Mill Bread Company, or we have Soul Food. There's a fusion of Latino and Korean food. Or if somebody was say maybe coming from North Carolina and going up to New York and decided to come to Takoma Park, and he comes and charges at my station, and after you drive for a long time, your back hurts, a little neck hurts. Okay, there's Still Point right next door. You can go for a nice massage, do a nice facial, relax, wake up, and then carry on.
We're constantly always learning, so we're always going to seminars and learning the new technology that's coming out for new cars, even gasoline cars, as well as hybrids, how things are working.
I'm very, very happy with what's happening here today. This car was actually a historic event because it was the first Chevrolet Bolt in the United States converted to a police car. And this event that we're at today is historic because it's the first gasoline station converted to an all-electric fueling station. So the two things sort of go hand in hand. We obtained this car in 2017 through a grant from the Maryland Energy Administration. It's an experimental vehicle, and it has been on the road now for just a little bit over 2 years. It's used for patrol every day, and it's been doing absolutely fantastic. I'm the one that drives it, so I can tell you that I absolutely love operating it. Low cost to operate, and the fact that there's little to no maintenance really makes me happy. My gas-powered cars were always in the shop, oil changes and spark plugs and belts and things like that. And in that sense, yes, there's little to no downtime. So I guess in that respect, it is more efficient. So the car gets charged at night, and it has plenty of charge to take it to work and do a complete patrol shift and then take it home again.
We always support energy-efficient vehicles, electric vehicles. Several of our neighborhood services staff operate electric vehicles. With our partners in Hyattsville City, who also has a patrol vehicle that's an electric vehicle, we're looking at maybe transitioning some electric vehicles into our patrol vehicles. Like I say, we always support energy-efficient vehicles. We've taken that lead with our neighborhood services division, driving several electric cars. So we understand. And also Ford and other manufacturers are going that route of developing cars that can be used in a patrol capacity. But absolutely, it's a great day for the city, and it obviously is going in the right direction, not only with the city, but also with the police department.
When I first got my Tesla, it'd be rare that I've even seen another Tesla, let alone another electric vehicle. Now the electric vehicles are all over the place and Teslas are all over the place. So I see at least 5 every time I go out. They've got much greater range. The speed of what they recharge at for Teslas, they're now charging at about 240 to 360 miles every hour. They're going up to 1,000 miles every hour. The existing charging stations are being upgraded to allow that. So my car actually keeps improving over time. They download updates all the time, and it gets better and better the longer I have it. I've had it for about 2 years.
We have 2 all-electric motorcycles. Those were also purchased on a grant from the Maryland Energy Administration. Once again, completely energy efficient because they run on about $2 worth of electricity, no gas, no oil, no maintenance, and they're completely quiet. Both the electric car and the motorcycle are on as we're talking here right now, and you can tell that other than the noise from the cars passing by, there's no sounds at all coming from either vehicle. Because it's quiet, it's easy to sneak up on people doing bad things, and because it is not spewing any fumes into the air, we're able to take it on bike paths and pedestrian paths where people would be walking because it's not making it smell bad. Also, we can take it inside of a building if we have to put it on display, and we could turn it on, and it's not a fire hazard because there's no gasoline.
The city has provided a little bit of guidance to Mr. Doley as he was making the transition, but this has all been him. He's done all of the hard work and made all of the plans to renovate his shop and to renovate the grounds here to support the electric charging stations.
We're part of the city government as a whole, and it's our job, as well as every department within the city, to support energy efficiency. So it's very important that we, as the police department, support that initiative. Like I said earlier, we are fully supportive of this initiative. We are hoping to be able to incorporate some electric vehicles into our fleet.
This is definitely the future. So as electric vehicles become more and more prevalent and gas becomes less and less, you'll see a lot more of them converting over to a way to keep themselves going, and that will be going electric. We're seeing right now the cities are actually converting a lot of their bus systems over to electric. I know Frederick, we just saw they have an all-electric transit bus. A lot of the school systems are looking for all-electric school buses. So you'll see that transition over in the government and then in the civil, the civilized world. Everybody else will switch it over as well.
Over the next few years, as infrastructure becomes more widely available, as a larger number of vehicle options become available from the auto manufacturers, as the prices of batteries continue to decline, I think you're going to be looking at a point in time in the relative near future where EVs are going to be very cost competitive with internal combustion engine vehicles, and that's a future that we realize is on the horizon and one that we're preparing for. With continued efforts with outreach events and stuff like this to make people more aware, we can start to crack down on some of those educational barriers to help make these more widely accepted.
I'm glad that I was able to be part, and also Doley did he put so much effort and time to get this thing going and for the future for the kids, and also all the things that we do are to improve our world. So
hopefully it picks up and an example, people take an example from me, and all over the country, or all over the world, people make more electric car charging stations. And and the manufacturers make electric cars, the prices are a little bit less, batteries are better, the range goes longer. It's good for the environment, so let's hope, right?
This really supports the city's efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We want to see people driving electric cars, carpooling and using public transportation. And in order to do this, we need infrastructure like RS Automotive to offer electric charging stations. It supports the electric taxis that help people get around. It supports electric car share programs, and it will support individuals with electric cars, especially since a lot of the people in the city live in multifamily housing or don't have driveways and therefore don't have a place to charge a personal vehicle. The city has a goal to reduce greenhouse gas emissions 100% by the year 2035, and this is citywide emissions, not just municipal operations. And so we need business owners that are forward-thinking, like RS Automotive and Mr. Doley, to take bold actions and innovative steps like this.
Today we're celebrating the latest piece of public art in the Takoma Langley Crossroads Commercial District, which is this beautiful mural over there on the archway of the Takoma Langley Crossroads Shopping Center. This archway that you see over there is a central location for the Takoma Langley Crossroads Commercial District, visually due to its shape and structurally because of its location. And what we were looking to do is activate the facade of this shopping plaza with something unique, bright, and colorful that actually reflects the businesses that we have here in the Takoma Langley Crossroads. So through funding and support by the Business Association and the businesses and property owners in the Crossroads Commercial District, we were able to commission the mural that you see behind us today.
This is a Juan Pineda original, who's also a local artist here in the DMV area. Takoma Park is really committed to placemaking and creating vibrancy in our commercial districts, and this is one of many and our newest commitment to public art.
The process was pretty basic. There was a call to artists that was put out. Responded to it. Was fortunate to have been selected by the committee. Second step to that was to gather all the materials that I needed to execute the project, smoothly. It took an average about 5 to 6 days to complete. We got very lucky with the weather because we happened to have right before it got really cold. We had a couple of days of good weather. The inspiration behind the design is it's very geometric. It has a little bit of urban contemporary behind it. My background is graffiti art, but I'm also Guatemalan, so I have a tendency of being inspired by a lot of Mayan hieroglyphics, and that kind of explains the reason why some of my elements are geometric shapes, but they're also very abstract in the sense that my colors are very vibrant, fluorescent almost, and almost got that Andy Warhol style to it, the pop artwork. I try to make my lines as straight as possible. That's most of my reels. It shows on most of my work. Lines are clean and sharp, and a lot of times I don't use a lot of it. Rarely I use taping. Just use some sort of a cardboard stencil to just create those quick sharp lines.
Well, the idea of placemaking is that you create energy around your commercial districts. So folks will come here and really connect the businesses and the small businesses with a beautiful public art piece. We're creating a destination. So there's a lot of activity going on New Hampshire Avenue. The Purple Line construction is happening. And we want to remember that our small businesses are a huge part of that and commit our work to them as well.
I like to talk a lot about fostering connections between the customer outside and the business behind the door, and fostering a curiosity about what's behind the door. And when you look at this mural today, and when the 30,000 cars daily that drive down New Hampshire Avenue look at that mural that you see, we hope that it's going to inspire that curiosity to find out what businesses are behind the doorway of the shopping plaza.
I'm just grateful for the opportunity to represent Langley Park, Takoma Park, especially in this strip mall. It's been here for generations, and as a local, I remember this strip mall at a very young age, and it's great to see it's still here, and we're doing some minor facelifts for the good of the community and the business owners. So whatever way, an artist or anybody could help out, to keep these businesses in business, I think it's a great honor.
Well, my art comes from many places, many directions, many styles. In this case, this is an abstract exhibit. So these are abstracts. These are some of my abstract styles. I have others, and they're more intuitive than planned. It's just based on how I feel about something. But I've worked a lot on technique in order to be able to express myself in all these different styles and different different mediums and different sizes and everything, and I still do.
So my background is in music composition, and I've been doing visual art for a few years, and I work in mixed media and sculpture mostly. This series behind me is mixed media with resin, and so I create these unique events made from plaster and aggregates like powdered pigment and acrylic paint, and then I cast them all in clear resin at the end.
I would say my art is assemblage. It's a multimedia mixture of mostly instruments, whatever inspires me. I sometimes will find the piece that it starts the whole thing, and then I will find other pieces. So I collect a lot of junk sometimes, but I love instruments because I'm a huge music fan and always love the way instruments look and all the craftsmanship that goes into instruments. I think they should never be thrown away, you know, so I started kind of with that and wanting to create something of things that people normally throw away. I have a lot of musician friends who started giving me stuff because they knew I was doing this, so I collected through that, and I sometimes go to repair shops, and that's kind of how it started.
We have a supported studio for adults with autism and other developmental disabilities, and the artists come and they create, and it's part of their workforce development where they show and they sell and they market their work in different areas. The Art Lab was founded in 2015, and we grew from our beginning with one artist, and now we have 25. We have a wide range of art that happens, everything from drawing and painting. We do ceramics and clay, mixed media. It's a wide range. We have some artists who come in and work digitally. Every day is something new. We have some drawings and some paintings and some ceramics and some glass and some mixed media art. We brought art from 11 different artists here to this abstracted show. Our youngest is 19 and our oldest artist showing is 36.
I do digital artwork and fluid painting, and I've been doing that for the past couple of years.
I do paintings and mosaics, and I've been doing that since the summertime, I guess.
I've been in the lab since 2017. We create artwork there a couple of times a week, and then we have various art shows like this art show that we exhibit and sell artwork at.
I do paintings and mosaics and other stuff.
Sometimes I'll mix an acrylic medium with latex house paint, and the colors. You get different effects with colors when you do that because they reflect light and reflect color differently. So depending on what I'm trying to achieve, that's the direction I'll go, and that's the kind of medium I'll use. But I do work in oils, I work in pastels, I work in charcoals, I work in I'm doing a lot of pencil, a lot of graphite now. So I use anything that will make a mark or a color to make a piece of art, sometimes unconventional things.
This particular series was vaguely inspired by images from the Hubble telescope from NASA, and I was fascinated with capturing an event that looked like it happened, it's happening now, but it in fact happened in the distant past. So each of these images or each of these works is a unique event, and what you're looking at is the instant it was created because of what they are. They're explosions of shells onto the surface. So they're literally the instant that they were created, and they're frozen in time. And that's sort of what I was inspired by in this particular series.
Lately, all I've been doing is sketching and drawing with graphite and pencil, tons and tons of work just with pencil and sometimes charcoal, just black and white, on paper, large paper, small paper, and I'm not sure where that's going to take me. I have no idea, but I'm following it.
I've been recently playing with magnets and the idea of they almost seem magical magnets because they can sort of defy gravity. Even a tiny magnet can defy the gravity of Earth. So I've been playing with these sculptures that feature magnets pulling on each other or pulling on other materials in such a way that they look like they shouldn't be happening, almost defying your senses. So they're a little bit whimsical, but some often very elegant looking because of that. So that's the more immediate future. Distant future, I don't know. Only the dropping is sort of out of my control, but there's tremendous amount of preparation that goes into them. There have been a couple when I first dropped them where I'm like, it's not terribly exciting, but I usually have to wait for them to dry, and in the process of drying, different things come out that I hadn't been there before, and it suddenly becomes really cool. And honestly, until I pour the resin on top, it's hard to know what it's going to look like because the resin makes it pop in a very cool way. But I haven't had one. I've had ones where I'm not as excited about, but for the most part, they've been pretty cool, which is lucky, I guess.
A lot of times I'll work out like multiple sketches. I'll work out the colors before I even start. I'll have the colors that I need already worked out, and sometimes that takes a couple of weeks because in the shapes and refining the shapes because they have to balance and interact with each other. So the preparation in these kind of abstracts are pretty much the key. And once you have that and you're satisfied with it, then it's all application. It's all the thinking is done. You've done all the thinking. It's just making it happen.
I'd like to learn how to create more ceramic pieces, and I think through art classes I can learn how to do that.
I would like to do like more mosaics or more paintings in art class. I feel like it's nice in the public gets to see our beautiful artwork.
I've exhibited artwork many times, and I think it's nice to be able to create and sell different types of artwork.
I love creating something out of nothing. And just the idea of repurposing and being able to make something that's, I think, beautiful out of pieces people just throw away, or hopefully it will mean something to somebody. And my intention is that hopefully a lot of people who have instruments in their family, they don't know what to do with it, they can bring it to me. You can commission me to do a piece for them, a custom built. I actually found their Chevy taillights, and I found them, and I actually just bought them because they were so cool looking. I was like, I'm going to do something with those someday. So it took me a couple of years. They just sat around, and I didn't do anything. And then another friend gave me the microphone piece, and I loved that piece. Didn't know what to do with it. So it kind of just came together, and this bottom is a vintage bulb that I found in Baltimore, and I loved the way that looked, so I kind of put things together. I have another series that I do of bugs, and this is only have one in this show, but I like doing bugs, and this was an inspiration to do a giant one.
It's like maybe I have the idea of like a sunset kind of image, so I want to paint like a sunset maybe at night or in the morning, I guess.
I create shapes digitally, and then I color them in when I do digital artwork. And then fluid painting, I see different colors, and I mix all of the colors until they look like one color. Digital artwork and fluid paintings are my favorite types of artwork to create.
I'm trying to reach people. We're trying to reach people with art. We're trying to reach all artists. We're trying to make a connection with other people, with other human beings, so that they feel something. They can feel a little bit of how the artist feels, and we're making a connection with art.
It feels playful, the making of it, even though sometimes it's painstaking, but there's a play element of it. And when you're sharing it to the public and people ask you questions and stuff like that, there's also another layer of joy. And it's always nice to see someone react to a piece in a very positive way, or it moves them. So there's different sort of layers of motivation behind it, but on a personal level, I just derive a lot of personal joy from sort of playing with art.